You're watching the #1 podcast in the whole entire YouTube wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Wanzo.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leek.
And together we are Rope. And welcome to another episode of NXT UK. We're going to be reviewing this week's show. Pretty good show. Not many big names. It's one of those shows that follow a show from what it was NXT UK Prelude that is already on the channel. But kind of the continuation of the current storylines. We didn't hear from Walter at all. He's tired. He got Ciampa for a lot of people that loved it. He got Rampage Brown. We love that. So, a lot of things happening in this show. But, we're going to be dissecting everything. So we hope that all of you are doing great. And your thoughts on this? Did you like it? Maybe not the best weeks in this show.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you said it perfectly. You had, big exposure of the UK talent, on NXT Stand and Deliver. You also had, this NXT Takeover Prelude. I always call it a takeover, but it was just a normal show, NXT UK Prelude. So this week had to be a down week. And it wasn't bad. See, that's the thing about NXT UK. Even their down weeks are still enjoyable. And like we always say, it's an hour. It's easy to digest. It's good. But I am looking forward to some of the matches next week. But this, by all means, in my opinion at least, wasn't a perfect show. I did have a little bit of
and we're going to be, elaborating on every single thing. So thank you, family, for being with us. Please subscribe to the channel. Let us know what you guys think. Comment. Also, go put the like on the video so the videos go up in the rankings. And also, check the bell for all notifications. Don't forget to also help us out with AEW Wrestling, right there, Dynamite review. And still, the TNT champion, Darby Allin, I showed Jean-Paul that completely broke the records of AEW Dynamite on TV, 1,200,000 people. So they also went maybe around 400,000 people now that they don't have the competition for NXT. So both shows are already benefiting from the fact that they're standing alone. So it's not the greatest show, like you said. There's always things that need to be tweaked. But Mike Tyson and everything has brought one of the best rankings for AEW Dynamite.
Yeah, and that's a number I am, I'm wanting to see if how consistent it's going to be. Not just for Dynamite, for both shows. I want to see if it was the big explosion, and then maybe in 3-4 weeks it goes back NXT 600-700, AEW maybe 800-900. You know what I mean? I want to see if the numbers stay that high or if they kind of dip, but. It's good for both shows. Raw is maybe sweating in their boots a little bit now, going, AEW's over 1 million now. But
yes, it's absolutely right. So please be with us. We talk about every single thing. Dr. Britt Baker, Mike Tyson joining the Inner Circle, all of that. So Paul, now let's have just 2 minutes. We're not gonna go in depth on what happened today, but 9 superstars were released of their contracts in the WWE, and we have the picture right here of every single one of them. The Iconics, Peyton Royce, Billie Kay, Samoa Joe. That's I think the one that is more shocking for everybody. Mickie James, Chelsea Green, Taki. Paul, there's not gonna be a reunion with Odie. Bo Dallas, Kalisto, and Riker. So I feel that this is.
Oh no, I don't think it was Riker. I think it was the other one.
The other guy. Yes.
Who is it? Is it Wesley Blake?
Wesley Blake
or somebody? Yeah, Jackson Riker's still there. But yeah, all these names. It's shocking. There might even be more names. Like they said, it's. I believe it was they called it Black Monday last year. It fell on a Monday. Yes. But that was but now it's a year later, and now it's a Black Thursday because they cut more people. And a lot of these names really weren't being featured too much. You think, Billie Kay was, on WrestleMania and all this stuff. But, we'll go more in depth tomorrow. Like you said, to me, Samoa Joe's the biggest shock. I was predicting he was going to be going against Roman Reigns in-ring return. Maybe in-ring return for TNA or somebody or New Japan. But, not WWE apparently. So.
We were thinking about that. Mickie James also, remember, she was in the pre-show of NXT Stand and Deliver. So, a lot of Chelsea Green was actually ready to come back. Peyton Royce had the match with Asuka. So, like you said, Kalisto, Bo Dallas, they haven't been featured at all.
Yeah, and if I just give a quick prediction for Chelsea Green, to me, where's her fiance? Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona, Impact. To me, she was a big star in Impact. I see her going back there. I'd be surprised if she goes anywhere else.
No, she already put a picture, with her old gimmick and all of that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'd be surprised if she goes to AEW or somewhere like that.
Exactly. And also, worth mentioning, the only piece of information we're going to throw today, because everything will elaborate more tomorrow live for SmackDown, these guys have the 90-day clause of,
okay.
So, they will always, all of them would be able to sign with any other promotion on July 15th. around there. So like they went to 3 months, they're good. Okay, they're good. Let's go back in the ring. So good luck to every single one of them. Our thoughts, prayers for every single one of them, because nobody, I don't know any single human being that likes to lose his job.
No.
The word already is lost, so that means that something was taken away from it. But there you go. Let's change the page. Change the channel. No, don't change the channel. So now let's start the first. Let's start the first match of the show. Jean Paul with like our boy Saxton Huxley and Nathan Frazier. So Ben Carter. I don't know. We still don't get why he changed his name.
No,
I really don't understand that. But tell me about this match, because at least Saxton had a good showing. But like every single match on NXT UK with this guy. So let's put that parentheses. He lost.
Yeah, this is the one I really had a problem with, because I'm watching this match. Even Nigel says he's like Bruiser Brody, and we said that as well. And not saying, we're geniuses. A lot of people see that comparison. His look, the way he grunts and stuff, all that when he's in the ring, right? Like Bruiser Brody. How was Bruiser Brody booked? I don't think he lost all of his matches. I'm a wrestling historian, to the greatest extent, but I'm pretty sure he didn't lose all his matches. So this, he looked dominant. But you had, Frazier was always countering everything. Every time it was a big suplex, he'd fall to the back counter. Anytime he went to go do a big slam, he'd slip out of it, which is fine. He's a smaller, quicker guy and all that. But for him, to get the win here, I didn't like it. It could have ended where, he was sick of this guy being squirrely, not being able to get him. So maybe he throws him on the outside and hits him over, with the steel steps. And I'm not saying, I like, because I always complain, they go to the outside, they use toys, they use this, they use that. But in this match with somebody like Huxley, it would have made sense. And then this would have been a feud. A little bit of a feud. Okay, now maybe in a week or two, we're going to see Frazier. He's like, you're bullshit. I want another match and whatever. And you still give Frazier the win because he would win by DQ. But to have him, hit the elbow like he does, and then, it was beautiful the way he countered, and then he hits that elbow, and then he goes up, and he does the drop kick, then he does the frog splash. It was a good sequence, but the guy's half the size of Huxley, so I didn't like him winning. You could have did it in a different way. I love Frazier. I wanted to see this guy succeed, but like, what about Huxley, too?
Not at the expense of, Huxley, and like you said, for example, Huxley dominates 90% of the match. So that was annoying, like you said, like, you hear how he did it.
And then it's just like, he hits his move. I was thinking, he's going to kick out of the frog splash. And then done.
And then done, so, Nathan Frazier gets the win. Like, they're pushing this guy because they know that he has a lot of talent. They saw him in AEW. They took him away from AEW. So you see, like, this guy has a lot of potential one more time. And I think, like you said, now he needs to just go after, like, the cup. He needs to go after the Heritage Cup, A-Kid, that will be the matches that will put these two guys on the map. But, now these kind of like matches that are not really a feud enough for like Nathan Frazier. I'm just done with that. I don't like it, like you said, like Saxton.
I think his only loss, if I believe correctly, wasn't it against Jordan Devlin?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and there was no way that like he was gonna win because Jordan Devlin had the match.
Yeah, but like, and no offense to Jordan Devlin, but it's like, okay, Devlin, and then Saxton Huxley's like this tall, but he can beat the guy who's, so that.
Exactly. Yeah. So like a little bit of like, we need more consistency just on that pieces of consistency. So let's go now to the Supernova sessions. Where our boy, the guy that made me cut my hair, Noam Dar, because like days ago I have that same kind of style haircut, and he has his guest as the boys from Gales. So pretty cool stuff. And like they were actually saying, hey, we're ready to fight now. We've been refocusing. We've been in the gym. We've been in the afternoon, maybe having a few beers. All of that. So like they're talking about all of these things. Right there, like they have this conversation with Noam Dar. But then Eddie Dennis is the one that like interrupts. And Eddie Dennis says, well, guys, like, you guys lost the titles. You haven't been doing anything, especially Joe Coffey. Talks about like the match that he had with Rampage Brown. He wants to refocus. He wants to go for the NXT UK Championship. So we'll see what happens on that. But then Eddie Dennis sends the new Hunt to kind of attack. So you see a big brawl happening. And I mean, in these kind of segments, at least it makes sense. Don't you think? At least it's not as bad as like from the back. You're not even able to tell your promo. You get your stuff in and then you fight.
Yeah, because Eddie Dennis comes out here and he had a good point. He's like, we would have beat Gallus, and we would have went on, or they would have won the titles, whatever it was. He's like, if it wasn't for you coming down, Joe Coffey, and getting involved in our match. And then Joe Coffey stands up and they pretty much say that they're going to have a match next week because none of them are dressed to fight. And he's like, yeah, you're right. Neither of us are dressed to fight, but those guys are. And then new Hunt, they come out, they start beating him up and everything. You have Noam Dar just sitting there and he's like, play that funky music. Right, and they play the music and stuff. I mean, this was good. And then to just keep on the Noam Dar train, I believe it was maybe before this or after this segment, they had him and Shaw Samuels. They're talking, they were pissed off about the loss to Tyler Bate that he had, and he pretty much said that they're going to have a tag match next week. So, that I'm looking forward to. They need to get the win over Mustache Mountain.
Yes, because
it's like, again, it's the same thing. You can't, bury these guys. I mean, Noam Dar's still over because of how charismatic he is.
In the show.
But he can't keep losing. Yes. He can't, because it's just, soon the charisma isn't going to carry you anymore. No. Because charisma doesn't equal title reigns. It doesn't equal getting main events. What equals that is wins. So. Exactly.
So, are you going to win? Are you going to win? I don't know. Probably not. We hope. So, next week, don't forget, it's going to be, Mustache Mountain against Noam Dar and Shaw Samuels. So it's going to be cool. They had promos, like I said, at the beginning, it was Noam Dar and Shaw, and then towards the end of the show, it was actually Trent Seven with Tyler Bate, so we're back. I like the music, though. Yeah. It's legit, so we'll see what happens on that. But like you said, at least, these segments make the show, flow a little bit better. It's a little bit of comedy in the middle, but you still keep, the fighting vibe throughout the whole show. So now let's go to another feud that has been happening from NXT UK Prelude. And that's Isla Dawn against McKenzie. So, this was a pretty good match. Amelia McKenzie. And, Isla Dawn showcased her ability as a heel. But also Amelia, you can see that, she has a lot of potential. I like that. She's pretty good in the ring, really fast. These two, have, a pretty fast match. And I really like that.
Yeah, and then they, I thought they had pretty good chemistry, too. And I like, Amelia McKenzie? Yes. Is the name. I just call her, what they call her, Amelia or Suplex Amelia or something. Yeah, I like that because, she hits all these different suplexes. I love that spot where she's on the ropes, comes down, hits the suplex, or the spear. What is it? Spear, I think it is.
It is the spear.
Yeah, the spear. Yeah,
that was for a 2 count.
I love that move and all that stuff. And this match was good. As I'm watching it, I'm thinking, oh man, they're probably gonna put Amelia over again, which is fine. But I'm like, what is that? That doesn't do good for Isla Dawn. She needs to get pushed. She just turned heel, or confirmed her being a heel by joining with Kaylee Ray. And, but no, they kind of get backed up in the corner. The refs kind of, break it up. Isla Dawn hits a big kick to the head. She hits, this beautiful, Snapdragon suplex almost, or German, whatever. And I like how she hits it because she doesn't stay on her feet. She fell to her knees and then went back. So it's you're a lot closer to the ground, a lot more impact, more leverage to hold the pin down. And then, 1, 2, 3, she gets the win. And, it was good. It was a win for her because then this also creates a program. Okay, Amelia won in the tag match. Isla Dawn won here. Maybe they'll have another singles match. See, that's how you do a little mini feud. Not like you do with Frazier and Huxley, where Frazier just wins and moves on to the next guy.
And then done, yes. Yeah. Exactly. So, it's still, now they're one piece. So, maybe later on another match, and maybe, you add some kind of stipulation to, give them more, vibes to the match, to give them more flavor to what it is, this match. But good stuff for Isla Dawn, the White Witch. She keeps getting those matches. I'm thinking that she might have a title match with Kaylee Ray. We'll see what happens, but at least she has a character now. Before, we saw her every month, every 2 months. Now we see her consistently. So that's a good thing for her. Or another one that we got used to see consistently was Ginny. And she's actually eyeing Dani Luna. So that was different for me. But at least they've given her a feud. It's a clear heel against babyface. Jesus, not Jesus. Jonathan Connors is right there alongside. Jesus said that he will be with you at all times. Right there, he's approved to that. So right there, Ginny is she's saying that Dani Luna is one of the strongest, even not the strongest woman in NXT UK. Also, she said that she dresses awful. The fashionista is gonna give her a lesson for free when she puts her down 1, 2, 3 next week. So we'll see what happens. But at least Ginny has something to do. Because, all these girls, if they're not fighting for the title, at least they need mini feuds.
Oh, yeah, and this is also good for Dani Luna, because she's kind of, I would say, on the lower end of the card for the women. She hasn't really been featured anything too prominent, and Ginny is a lot higher up on the card, so this kind of elevates Dani Luna.
Yes.
To feud with Ginny and all that, and I don't know if she'll win, but, to just be in this feud, I think is a good sign for her, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, exactly. So also they had, Dave Mastiff. Dave Mastiff, Simon Gradwell was trying to open the door, and he's like, "Oh man, can you open the door? I'm trying to get in." And
then he's like, "Could you waddle to the door any slower?" And he's like, "Well, you, mate. And he like relocked it. He's like, oh, come on.
And he couldn't like so like Gradwell is actually the comedic side of like that.
Mhm.
Tough guy, really, strong, good character, and also like the like the spots that she has, the comedy stuff, really, really cool. So don't forget, next week we're gonna see Eddie Dennis against Joe Coffey. This is probably gonna be for Coffey to step down, step up here, and maybe again one more time. I'm looking for like a title opportunity here. It's just to solidify Joe Coffey one more time. Hey, I need some kind of win so I get momentum. Let's do it, And Eddie Dennis, he's a guy. He's more a manager for me than a wrestler. So we'll see what they do.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just it's hard to say because how many times can you keep repeating title matches? Joe Coffey, Rampage Brown, Dave Mastiff, Dragunov. Like how many times can we keep seeing these same guys go against Walter?
Yeah.
If it is Joe Coffey, it'll be a good, hard-hitting match, but I'm not excited to see it. You know what I mean? It's like they really, I feel, screwed up not putting it on Rampage Brown.
Oh, yeah, they screwed it up really bad. It was time for Rampage. It was just the time because, like you said, it's like the more you keep a title reign, you need more fresh contenders.
Unless the only thing, like I said, then this is going real crazy. Maybe they really don't have anything for Finn Balor right now in NXT. Maybe he's going to beat Walter and then come over to NXT UK. I don't know.
For a few months, right? Be there for a few months. Show up there. You're a British guy, so why not?
And a story would be there. Remember, him and Dragunov had a really good match, maybe.
Yeah.
And Finn Balor won, so now maybe Finn Balor will do the job to him again. Who knows how they're going to do it, but, Walter, I feel he's too distracted. They have him in NXT in America, they have him in NXT UK, and it's too much. He shouldn't have the title.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely right. That's the main reason why they should not have the title on Walter. Let's talk about a girl that wants a title, and that's Eva Valkyrie. She actually put her feather down, and she said, you know what, Meiko, can you just guess what I'm trying to say? And Meiko responds. It's like, I understood what you meant, and I accept. So they're going to have this match. And I'm looking forward to this match.
Yes.
This is going to be great. Whenever they have it, maybe next week or in 2 weeks, see that picture right there. It tells the whole story. She's completely enticed into what Meiko Satomura does, and I'm really loving it because this is, again, it doesn't say number one contender, but what else, what kind of a match do you want for them for this too? Undefeated, the best, the biggest boss, or, all of that right there. So, it's just going to be amazing. So, whenever it happens, I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, definitely. This is one I'm looking forward to, and it's going to be one of the things where it's like, who wins? Because, like Meiko, she lost against Kaylee Ray. To lose here, it's like you tout her as being the best women's wrestler in the world, the final boss, but then she loses. But then is this going to be the undefeated streak? And sometimes when people are undefeated, they need to lose to be like, to take that pressure off them. Okay, I suffered my first loss. Okay, now I can refocus, whatever, because you focus too much on the undefeated streak versus winning. You know what I mean? Like two different mindsets. So we'll see where they go here, but I'm really looking forward to the match.
Exactly. So that's going to be amazing. We got to see it for this guy. He's been training with Piper Niven for the past 3 weeks. He lost in the match with Joseph Connors. Like, it was a singles match. So then he lost. So then Piper is trying to rekindle that killer instinct that she has, the killer instinct that Jack Stars has, and she's been training with him and all of that. So he has this match with Ashton Smith. So what did you think about this match? Because it was pretty quick, but again, the smaller guy loses to the big guy. So I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, but at least in the fashion that happened, it wasn't as bad.
Oh, well, yeah. The smaller guy beat the bigger guy. Yeah, and I mean, this was good because Jack Stars, what did we say since the beginning? Like the Sami Zayn, this guy's slowly going to gain momentum, slowly going to be legit. And if it took Piper Niven being in his corner, helping him out, so be it. But like they said, he's a British wrestler to the T. He knows all the holds, all the reversals, all the moves. And Ashton Smith is just the bigger, stronger, like really good athlete. But, it was the wrestling that really helped him out here. And, Piper's coaching. And this was good. It was his first singles win. So this I wasn't too upset with because they're not kind of pushing Ashton Smith the way were pushing Saxon Huxley. Not saying they were pushing him by giving him wins, but Huxley had the vignettes. Oh, look at this guy. He had the Walter and everything. So you were kind of presenting him in a more legit manner where Smith is like a tag team guy and stuff. So it really wasn't too bad for me to see him lose here. I was just happy for Jack Stars. He gets his first singles win. So this is good.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And, like I said, it wasn't like a big move. It wasn't like a big maneuver. It wasn't anything like that to put him away. It was more like a roll-up, but he was consistent about it, and he kept holding on. That's how he got the victory over Ashton Smith. So he gets the win. He's excited. His first win on NXT UK. So like you can see, like the guy has all the talent in the world, but he was dropped out most of the time. He didn't come short this time, although a little short. But I would love to be him again one more time. I will wish that Piper will be the one holding me. But a different world, different universe, WWE or UK or Robert universe, he will be holding me. So that's fine.
Exactly.
But, we hope by 4 stars to like keep winning, like you said, that underdog vibe that he has. We'll see what happens on that. Good stuff, Jean Paul. So now let's talk a little bit about the main event. Kelly Williams, against Amir Jordan. And, he goes and he says, well, like, we had the titles won. That picture says it all. He's like, we had the titles won, but you screwed up. He's like, I gave you the title. You should have just beat him with them. Pretty deadly. 1, 2, 3, we would have been the tag champs. But because you want to be always clean, you want to be fair, you want to do everything honest. We lost those championships. So this match was actually the main event, and rightfully so. 2 years tagging, best friends, quote unquote. And the match was actually okay. It was pretty decent. Kenny Williams had the upper hand for most of the match. Amir Jordan trying to make a big comeback. And he was really selling for Kenny. That was really cool. In this picture also, they showcased the main event for next week. There you go, the tag match that we already talked about. But in the end, the main story was Kenny Williams. He actually gets the win. He did cheat also. So like you see that's his new gimmick. That's the heel tactics that he's going to use to win matches. He exposed the first turnbuckle on the top, and then the ref kind of caught him and he's like, no, you don't do that. So he does the second one, the one in the middle, and then he hit Amir Jordan, like you see the elbow. And that's the elbow that he was like, the shoulder, my shoulder, my bad. The shoulder that he was injured before. So you see that you give all the continuity because it's like that was repair, so that still is not going to be the same again. And he hits that, and then he hits this, nice face buster right there. 1, 2, 3. He gets the win. Amir Jordan, well, they're not going to push him, but Kenny as a heel, he has a lot of like opportunity. He has room for like to be a good heel for the Heritage Cup.
And that's exactly it. Like you said, he could maybe get some more wins. Maybe he even beats Jack Stars, or something like that. And then he challenges A-Kid, and that will be another good defense for A-Kid. I don't see him, beating A-Kid for the Heritage Cup, but I like this match. Good grudge match. And I like how, when Amir Jordan came out, he wasn't doing the he
wasn't dancing. Yes.
No, it was right to the ring. It was all business. It was all seriousness. And see, that's the thing. When they know it's a grudge match and there's hate, and it's like, I want to kick this guy's ass, they're not coming out there going New Day and flinging pancakes. You know what I mean? So that's, you got to present the feud how it actually is and present yourself like you belong in this feud. And that's what both these guys did. But I think the heel going over is good here because it doesn't end the feud. Nope. Maybe Amir Jordan will come back in a couple weeks. Maybe they'll show him in a week or two with the shoulder taped up. And he's like, when I'm clear to wrestle in 3 weeks, it'll be you and me, no holds barred or something like this.
Because you exposed the turnbuckle, like the heel tactic, because I had the match won, which he was doing the big comeback. Like you said, Kenny had the upper hand because he's more like the tactic shit. I gotta do it dirty so I can get the win, and he cashed in on that. So like you said, a lot of room for this guy to get bigger feuds, better things, because in a tag, especially if they're going to be baby faces, do they really have a chance against the Gallus? Against the New Holland?
Now the only thing
Webster, no.
Yeah, the only thing I'm going to say here is, okay, Imperium's gone. Grizzled Young Veterans gone. Now Williams and Jordan gone. We need some tag teams. Remember when we first started doing this show, when they relaunched and they had all the tag teams out there? It was legit.
Yes.
Now a bunch of these tag teams aren't there anymore.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, because they even showed Imperium on the screen. As in, it's like, we're still here. Don't forget about us. No, you're not. Because Walter's not even here anymore. So it's like, you need to add some tag teams. Hopefully they sign somebody, they do something, or even bring somebody else in. It don't matter. Clearly we have Meiko Satomura, so not everybody has to be from the UK. Bring in some teams from other places. We need to add to this division because you're taking away from it. That's my only concern.
Yeah, but like, the only thing is like it's a lot, and because you book all the time. You do fantasy booking and all of that. At least because it's an hour, it gives you a lot more room to like always like do maybe the tags in one show, then maybe 2 weeks later, definitely. Then you can do more tag and things like that. Yeah. So at least they have time, so like they can develop more teams.
Yeah, the shorter your show, the smaller your roster can be.
Yes.
Yeah, because you don't have to book for 3 hours every week. You only have to book for an hour every week.
Or you don't have to book like the same guys for like 9 segments.
Yeah, exactly.
For the 3 hours. So that's that's a different story, different brand, all of that. Family, thank you so very much for being with us. Great review. Hope you guys enjoyed. So one more time, don't forget to please help us out. Let us get to that 1,000. We're really craving for that. We have that hunger. We want to get to that 1,000, to 1K, to see on that. So help us out. And please also like hit the bell for notifications and also comment and hit the like button so you guys can get to see our videos higher in the rankings. And where else, Paul?
And to make sure you follow us, Rope Break on Facebook, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, and of course right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
Our family, we'll see you tomorrow live for WWE Smackdown, reactions from Roman Reigns, Bianca Belair, who's going to step up to the Tribal Chief. We'll see, and we'll talk about tomorrow. And make one more thing that is left to say, and that is...